Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Layla and today's video is Sabbatical Prep Update, month number 4. If you're new here or just have no idea what I'm talking about, I will link my past few videos that are related to this topic. So that is my first sabbatical video, and then months 1, 2, and 3, those updates. In simple terms, I am currently planning to take a sabbatical, but really it's me leaving my full-time job so that I can take my business full-time. And this sabbatical doesn't really have an end date. It's just kind of me thinking that I will take my business full-time permanently and go from there. We're gonna start off hot by addressing a comment that I received on this video. I uploaded a video recently about how our salaries are not enough to thrive off of, and I received this comment. It says, if 70K is not enough without your side hustle, then why are you leaving it so you can pursue YouTube biz full time? Makes no sense. We all tired, but you want to take a sabbatical when the iron is hot. Have you ever thought your entry-level tech pay is helping you being employed? Microsoft, Amazon, Google are laying off a lot of tech employees. I'm going to start by saying that I know that by me talking about my finances in general and talking about my plans with all of this opens me up to other people's opinions and comments of this sort. But I do want to say that I appreciate that the bulk of y'all are really supportive of me and respect that this is my life, and this, at the end of the day, these are my finances and like my life decisions, and I respect that y'all respect that, you know? But there's always going to be somebody out there who says things like this. So I do just want to address it because it's relevant to this sabbatical journey that I'm going on, right? The reason that I made that video, the we're not being paid enough type of video, is really just for the people who are in a situation that like they're feeling the way that I do, where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a part of corporate America and working a job that is unfulfilling. I want to do what I need to do in the background so that I can live a life that I really, really enjoy. The key thing that I was focused on in that video is that I was saying that what we are paid, for the most part, what the bulk of us are paid from our full-time jobs, is not enough to thrive. And what I mean by that is we cannot, if you look back at the last couple of years of progress that I've made, like I said in that video, the bulk of that would not have been possible if I did not have my side hustles in addition to my full-time job. Like if I only had my full-time job, I wouldn't be debt-free right now, wouldn't have maxed out my Roth IRA a couple of years in a row, wouldn't have as much invested as I do now or as much saved as I do now. An income of 70K is livable. An income below 70K is also livable. But the thing that I was focusing on was the key term was thriving, right? And somebody also commented like, oh, I'm very comfortable with this job type of thing. And that's fine. That's great. Like if you're in a situation where you're like, hey, I'm chilling, I get paid 50K, I'm able to pay my bills, I'm able to travel here and there, I'm pretty happy with my job, I'm cool with retiring at 59 and a half or 62, 65, whatever the case may be, then that's great. I want you to be that way, you know? Like if you're okay with that, then continue that because that's what you want to do, you know? But that is not what I want, and I know a lot of my viewers also don't want that. So the point of that video was to be like, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to look out for yourself and get what you want. Because if you're just making 70K, yes, that can be comfortable, and yes, you can eventually get out of debt. It's gonna take longer than how long it took me to get out of debt, but it's definitely possible. But you're also probably going to be working until you reach traditional retirement age. That is how most people will live their life, and that is not what I want to do. The other thing with working a full-time job, this is the way that I feel, you know, I'm talking about myself, and I know that other people feel this way too, but I do not enjoy trading the bulk of my time, the bulk of my life, days, weeks, months, is dedicated to doing something that I find unfulfilling. I don't find it to be impactful, and it's not something I would say I enjoy on a day-to-day basis, right? And I didn't just make that video to be like, oh, I'm not paid enough. I wasn't just making it to complain. I'm not here just twiddling my thumbs and doing nothing about it, just complaining about it and doing nothing about it. I am doing what is necessary for me to get out of that lifestyle, just because the corporate world is not for me. If that's for you, that is fine. That is completely fine. Having a standard 9 to 5 job or retail job, any type of job, is completely fine if you are comfortable with it, but it's not something I am comfortable with, and I'm doing it right now, but I am working in the background to do what I want to do with my life. And for me, a 9 to 5 job has served its purpose, and it's continuing to serve its purpose. It is allowing me to save more. It's allowing me to invest into myself, back into my business. It is allowing me to pay bills. It has allowed me, in combination with everything that I do online, to get out of debt, invest, save, as I keep saying. And I understand that when it comes to me actually leaving my full-time job, I may see a decrease in my income. I don't know 100% what's going to happen. It may be possible that my income could increase. Like if I take my business full-time, maybe I'll make over 6 figures from my business. I don't know. But it's also a possibility that I only make 40K or 50K from my business, but I am okay with making less of an income from what I want to do, from my YouTube channels, from my blogs, from my financial coaching, because to me, that's really fulfilling. And that is something that truly makes me happy. And I have gotten to a point where I would be comfortable with earning a lower income. And the trade-off of that is 100% worth it. So I know by me saying, oh, 70K is not enough to thrive, that's different. That is 70K to trade the bulk of my life to do something I don't enjoy doing. But if I'm making 50K and enjoying every single day of my life, like that's a dream. That is exactly the reason why I am doing all of this. The other thing she said in here is that we're all tired, but you want to take a sabbatical when the iron is hot. I understand that many people are tired of working, but like I said, I didn't just make that video, or I'm not just doing this just to complain about work and complain about life. Like I am doing what I need to do to take my business full time, and nobody can say, like, there's been a lot of things that have contributed to my success, of course, but nobody can say that I didn't work for this. Like you can't say that. You see me posting videos every single week, 3 times a week. I am working with clients every single week. I am continuing to get more clients every single week. I am doing what I need to do to get where I want to be. And she threw that comment in there as if I'm just taking a sabbatical just to like around. But as y'all know, of course, there's going to be time for me to rest and recover, because I am at a stage of burnout, and it's really from my full-time job. So I absolutely will make time to rest and recover in there. But I'm not just going to sleep on the couch every single day and watch Netflix every day. Like I am planning to take my business full time. So I will be doing this stuff full time and still working during my quote unquote sabbatical. And going along with that, by her saying we're all tired, I have created this opportunity for myself. Like I was saying, I put in the work to make this possible. I am able to plan and prep for this sabbatical because I have paid off my debt, because I've invested, because I've saved. I did not have to create this YouTube channel. I did not have to start financial coaching. All of these things that I'm doing, I've created this opportunity for myself, and I'm not going to just sit in the background and be okay with a life that I don't want to live. And it's okay, like if you're in a situation where you feel the same way that I do and you're not technically like doing anything about it, that's okay. But the reason I made that video is just like, y'all need to watch out for yourself. You know, like you need to do, if you really want something, if you want to get out of the corporate world, or if you're like, hey, 70K is not enough for me, 50K is not enough for me. I listed out a few things that you need to be doing: multiple sources of income, increasing your income, switching careers, starting a side hustle, starting a side business so you can take it full time at some point. Yeah, I mean, I've already said it, but I've created this opportunity for myself by putting myself out there, by staying dedicated to this YouTube channel, by being consistent with this YouTube channel, and things have grown from it. And then she said, have you ever thought your entry-level tech pay is helping you be employed? Like, yeah, no like, sorry. But yes, of course, I know that and I recognize that. That's why I say all the time, I am grateful for my job. And I recognize that it has allowed me to also get to where I'm at by being an additional source of income for me. And it has allowed me to invest back into my business and help me to feel more comfortable with everything that I'm doing, of course. But that's just not the point of what I was talking about with that video, and that's also not the point of this sabbatical. And like I was saying at the beginning, I know that the bulk of y'all are supportive, but this comment had multiple thumbs up on it. So I'm like, what disconnect are y'all seeing here? Like, I'm not just complaining about my life, I'm doing something about it. And if I want to prepare for a sabbatical, like, I am doing what it takes to get to that. And I'm not just gonna be chilling, watching Netflix all day. I am still gonna be working, and I'm gonna be doing more impactful stuff when I actually take my business full time. Like, I will get to help more people with their finances and make more content for y'all. Like, it is so much better than me just being a consultant for these larger firms, you know? Anyways, I did just want to address that because I don't like being like misunderstood, honestly, and I know that I can't, the thought process that I'm going through, or like how I do things, I can't make everybody understand, and that's fine, but I don't want somebody to just like undercut what I've been doing, honestly, because this has taken a lot of effort, time, dedication. Like, I guess the point that I'm saying is, like, I'm not just twiddling my thumbs and complaining about a 70K job. It's not, that was not the point of that video, and that's not the point of this sabbatical, you know? Hopefully that all made sense. Okay, outside of all of that, I have 4 main things that I want to talk about for this month 4 update, or all of January. I will say, speaking of work, January was really tough for me. The first couple of weeks at work were kind of slow. There wasn't too much work going on. There were a couple of people still off from work at my company, and then even at like other companies, the clients that I have at my job. So it was a little bit slower. The other thing, I just don't do well with the winter. I don't like the colder weather. I don't like the gloomy days, the lack of greenery around me, lack of sunshine. I don't like that it gets dark early and it's dark in the morning. I just don't do well in general with that. So it was just tough for me to feel motivated to even work. I'm always motivated to make like YouTube videos and that sort of thing. But I don't know, I just had a tough month. I was having a hard time focusing, and I just really was not wanting to do what I had to do, but like, obviously you just have to. But we got through it, and slowly the days are getting longer, the days are getting a little bit warmer. Every single year, January always feels like a really long month. Like, it feels like it goes really slow, but at the same time, super fast. Like when I look back and think of January, I'm like, oh wow, that happened in January? Like, that feels so long ago. Or I'm like, what? We're already at February, you know? So it feels long, but at the same time, it goes super fast, and we're already in month 2 of 2024. So yeah, I did make a lot of time to like enjoy my hobbies though. Like, I think I read 6 books. I finished 6 books in January. I crocheted 3 little animals. I can put up pictures of them. I can never remember how to say the word, like imaguru little crochet projects. So that's been fun. Like, I made sure to make time for things that make me feel a little bit more relaxed. I even had some weekends that were more dedicated to just like relaxation and recovery, because that does help a bit with the burnout, but you know, then kind of starts over once the week comes back around. Next update would be around my business specifically, and I've talked about this a little bit. So back in December, I did file for an LLC. And my LLC does not just include, like, it's not Debt Over It LLC or anything like that. It is a collection of everything that I do, because I do have different platforms. You know, like, I have Personal Finance with Layla, but I also have Living Like Layla. So I didn't want to just put it under, it doesn't really matter, but didn't want to just make it about my finance content. So I started that process late December, and things did get finalized. I think my LLC was actually like approved by the IRS by January 2nd. And after that, everything just kind of happened quickly. I had to transition a lot of my bank accounts and a lot of my payouts from, like, when I get paid by Mint Mobile or paid out by YouTube, I had to switch the bank accounts, switch up my 1099s and W-2s, those sort of things. And honestly, it was all kind of stressful and overwhelming. And I didn't say, so I did file as an LLC. But also I will be filing as an S Corp. So with that, I had to set up payroll for myself. So I am now an employer as well as the employee of my business. So I had to set up payroll, and I now am paying myself a monthly salary from my business. And it's not as complex now that I've learned a little bit more about it. I have mentioned her name repeatedly, but there is a woman, Anita, who, she was the one who really initially inspired this. I was thinking of filing as an S Corp, but then this was like a few months ago, and I was like, nah, let me just not worry about it. But she convinced me, and she's been a tremendous help, emailing back and forth with me about all of these things, and me like panic emailing her asking these questions. So she's been super helpful. Her name is Anita. I don't know if I said it yet. A lot of it has been a learning curve, but I feel like I have learned a lot, and I have accomplished a lot within a short period of time, and just getting over that initial stress of things was tough. But now that things have settled down and I think we're all good, I feel a lot better about it and hopeful about everything. It's pretty cool what is possible when you file as an S Corp. So I am hoping to, one, not only grow my business, but also to save a ton on taxes, especially if my business does grow. Next thing is that I did open another credit card. Surprise! Surprise, surprise. This was for my business specifically. Now, it is not a business card, and you don't really need a business card for your business. That can be helpful, but I don't really have... I wanted something with a really high bonus, but there were some great ones, but you have to spend like $6,000 in 3 months or $10,000 in 3 months, and I am just not going to do that, you know? I also didn't want to open a card that had such a high spending limit for that bonus if I had to make personal purchases on it. So I want this card to only be used for my business expenses, and I didn't want anything to overlap even at the beginning to get the bonus. So I decided to open the Citi Double Cash card. And the reason I went with this one is because it's 2% back on everything. So you get 1% when you make a purchase, but then you get an additional 1% when you actually pay for that purchase. And then this comes with a $200 sign-up bonus, and all you have to do is spend $1,500 within the first 6 months. And I can definitely achieve that by just paying for what I need to pay for for my business. So I will have $1,500 worth of business expenses from January through June, you know? I spent a lot of time looking through different cards. I was going to open an American Express one, but I think it had an annual fee, or maybe it didn't. It didn't have an annual fee, but I think the bonus and the cash back was for a statement credit, and I don't always like cards that give cash back as a statement credit just because... I don't know, if that had a higher spend limit to get the bonus. And yeah, I would have had to like overlap personal spending with business spending. So that was one thing, but also to get a statement credit, it didn't make sense for me to open that card. So that's why I went with Citi Double Cash. And so far I really like it. And then the final thing, also so surprising for me, is I opened another checking account. And this time it is with Truist Checking. And that comes with a $300 bonus. Now, I think it was my first month update, like maybe after October or November, I was saying how, I need to close a few of my checking accounts because if I'm, planning to leave my full-time job, I won't have direct deposit be able to set up to maintain these accounts. Because oftentimes when you open a checking account, you can get the bonus, but you keep having to have, for a lot of them, you have to have money continuously being deposited to them to avoid a fee or keep a certain amount in them. But now that I'll be filing as an S Corp and I have to be on payroll, I am using a platform that I can put as many bank accounts in there as I want to as an employee for my business. So I do have money direct deposited to my checking account, and even if I leave my full-time job, I'll still be able to continue to have these multiple checking accounts if I want to, and it should be no problem. Which is exciting because that means I can continue to open checking accounts. At this point, I have opened like almost all of them except for credit unions. So we're slowly decreasing the amount of opportunities that I have for opening them. But like I said, this was the Truist checking account. This comes with a $300 bonus. I believe I have to direct deposit $1,000 within the first 3 months, or maybe it was $1,500. I can put the specifics in the description box. I actually applied for this checking account back in July of 2023 because it had a $400 bonus. This was also a checking account that I encouraged my boyfriend to open for that $400 bonus, and now it's a $300 bonus. But at the time when I applied back in July, I had recently moved. So I moved from my apartment to this house back in May. And when I was putting in this new address, they also asked for my old address, but they were like, we can't confirm that you live at blah, blah, blah. Like, I guess I didn't live here long enough. It just kept saying to contact customer support, and I didn't want to deal with that. So I was like, whatever, not a big deal. I think that's when I ended up opening Regions or some other checking account. But I saw an ad for the $300 bonus. I was like, let me try again. Takes a few minutes. I filled it out and I did get approved for that, and so far I've made one deposit into that, and I think I'll just have to do one more and then I'll get the $300 bonus. So that's exciting. $500 worth of bonuses should be coming to me in the next couple of months between those two. Yeah, I think that is everything for January. If you're still watching, thank you so much, and just in general, thank you for supporting me. I really, really appreciate that, and I know I responded to just like one negative comment, but just know that I see all of the positive stuff and I really, really appreciate that. It makes a world of a difference. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Check the description box to find extra videos, all my links, all my important stuff. It's down there. Thank you again for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.